Yay! Season is snowing!
December 2019. News comes from Wuhan, China, about an alarming novel strain of coronavirus. What we now know as COVID-19 starts spreading, and nations worldwide enforce quarantines and lockdowns. While the world enters crisis mode, a group of filmmakers across the globe grabs their cameras to capture the lives and stories around them. Sharing these stories, they realize, even before COVID-19, we had equally virulent diseases dividing us. Perhaps this virus might be a test for humanity, a wake-up call for change. Filmmakers and storytellers from 22 countries unite in a shared goal to tell the story of a time for healing. This is Sanatione.
That sinking feeling that pierces the heart, fear of losing, things that I never had. May the universe heal it and make way for spring again.
I'm just very, very scared. But I know you can't be scared and live like this. You have to live in the present. So I'm just trying, but I think it's going to take some time.
It's very funny actually. Like, I was just thinking about it. Like, I'm sitting here right now. We're still in the middle of the pandemic. In fact, things are worse right now than what it was back then. But when I think of the way I was at that time, sitting at that time and space, thinking about the future, I used to be petrified. I thought life was ending. So I have decided to take one day at a time. Perhaps that's the best way to be. So in Indian mythology, there is this concept of devas and asuras. So devas are the gods and asuras are the evil guys. And so I painted this asura and coined the term Karunasur for this. This particular demon wants these lungs. I think I was kind of like a pendulum where there were times when I was being very positive because I felt that compared to a lot of millions of people, I was so privileged. I had a roof, I had food, I had my mom and dad with me. It's crazy. I was just thinking before switching on the camera that I was just lying down in my bed that how slowly I'm just getting used to this life, not going out at all and staying home. It's me and my friend Shreya. So we used to imagine, like, wish we could just exchange things from our laptop screen. The virtual world had like taken over. At the same time, there were times when I used to feel that, oh my God, I don't have a career, I am not earning, and I am so lost. Everything is so uncertain. Like your parents might not survive this, or you might not survive it.
These grills, I don't like. I want to break them. Then I can sit here now if I can make a balcony here.
I remember I thought of Annie Frank and her diary. I was like, in those days I used to think that maybe people will discover my footage. I thought like maybe we all will die and the world is coming to an end. And I thought, maybe one day if some people survive, then they will find this footage and they could like use this as a way to understand what was going on in the lives when Corona was here. So it became like very monotonous. Like, I was kind of observing my life where everybody was doing the same thing. Like my mom used to do the same thing, my father used to do the same thing. So it's literally I think the house saw each one of us doing the same thing for X number of times. You never know, like in a week a vaccine comes out and within 6 months we all get the vaccine and everything gets fine, or things might just get worse. I don't know. We have to face it. I don't know why we think that life is permanent, although we know that nothing is permanent and we are just here for a very short while. So I think we should just make the best out of whatever time we have right now. I create my own demons. I can get rid of them too. Note to self. And I think it just took me some amount of time to figure out that okay, I need to kind of disrupt this and like find some sort of like an excitement in my mundane routine, you know. One day I just played some Latin music and I just dancing and I put it up on Instagram. And I remember there were a lot of these friends who commented on it, and then they were very inspired to do the same thing. I think dance is my way of liberating myself. I just needed to dance because I think I need my happy hormones, because otherwise it's too intense to live inside an enclosed space, and because there is no escape from all this grief. Because I think in a happier space, everything just kind of looked more exciting. So I used to order from Big Basket. This is a delivery platform, and they sent me a bunch of rotten cowpea beans, you know. And I remember my mother when I was sitting, and then she was cutting something, and she was just telling me, "Oh my God, you know, you must complain about it because they are all rotten." So then I said, "Oh, forget it." So then I kind of made this one girl's face, you know, like it was almost like a self-portrait in my head. And then I took a picture because, you know, I thought it was interesting to look at it. And I posted on Facebook, and oh my God, I got so many comments and likes. So that was very encouraging, and I started looking forward to eating my fruit in the morning. I made this today with my morning fruit. The apple family. So exciting how much one can do with art. Check this out. So basically this is a couple in a shikara in Kashmir. This is my house in the woods on a moonlit night when the moon is pink. This is what I made right now. Her name is Bella. And it was one of those comments in one of my peel arts where they said, why don't you try doing some stop motion with it, you know, and it kind of like sowed the seed in me. I started making a lot of this, and every day I would put it on Instagram, you know, so suddenly life was like full of art and full of color again, you know. Something that I'm very, very particular about is not to waste any food, because right now people in my country are dying. They don't have enough food to eat. To waste food in the name of creativity and art, there is something that just doesn't go with the way I think at all. So I'm just trying to make whatever I can with the food that is being cooked for the day, keeping it very, very minimal. After doing my experimentation with these peels, I started painting things, you know, like basic stuff. That I feel were recurring in my paintings, which is also because what I was going through at that time, and it just kind of like made me see a different side of me, you know, where I felt okay, you know, like I have hair on my body, let it just, it's growing, and I felt somehow very complete with nature. So then I started painting these women with mustaches, and these women were a part of nature. We know from where like there are birds making nests on them, and there are like flowers growing from their bodies and things like that. You know, like I could see my friends also in the similar state. So it was like an escapist sort of this thing, and it started recurring in all my animations as well. this one little script that I had written long back called Shit Happens. So I kind of adapted to it to the COVID scenario. So I drew the characters. First, I made a storyboard out of my script, and then I made these cutouts, and then I kind of like figured out a very makeshift sort of a setup to do the stop motion. And it was quite an experience, and I think it just kind of opened my interest and love for stop motion, to be very honest. To be very honest, since the lockdown has opened, I haven't felt this intensely or created anything which is this intense, So that's why, like isolation, I feel gives you a lot of scope as an artist to delve deeper, to understand who you are, what your philosophy is, and to understand like what does life mean to you, and to kind of put it in your art. Let's grow the strongest pair of wings while we are in the isolation, so that we can take the longest flight when we are free.